Hello, this is Gary D. Tonencourt from morethanasnapshot.com. Today I want to talk about a little known brush tool tip in Lightroom. Okay, once we come into Lightroom, we can look at the brush tool, and one thing you may not have known is that there are options here for pre-made brushes made by Lightroom. And if I choose here the Iris Enhance one, you'll see that it makes changes to more than one slider. So in this case, it's increased the exposure, it increased the clarity, it increased the saturation, and so on. And you can also make your own custom brushes, or you can adjust the brushes that they've created. But in this case, I just wanted to show you that there happens to be some brushes that have more than one option changed. And when you apply these brushes, sometimes the effect is too much, and it would be kind of a pain to back off on the effect if you had to move each slider in a certain proportion. So there's a better way of getting around that. So first, I'm going to shut off the brush for a second so that I can zoom in. I'm going to zoom in on the eye so I can use this iris brush. And it's going to lighten and add a little bit of saturation and things like that. So I'm going to go back to the brush now, and I'm just going to paint right over the iris. It's mostly brightening and adding a little bit of saturation. I could do a little bit of the white part of the eye, but I don't want to do that because it'll enhance the red blood vessels. So I'm just going to do a little over here as well. Alright, now here's the trick. If that was too much or too little effect on the eye, I could go and adjust every little slider, but there's a much easier way to do it. Right across from where it says what brush it is, here it says Iris Effect. Over here there's a little arrow. If I click that arrow up, all of a sudden it changes all those options to something that says Amount. So with the Amount slider, it's set to 40 right now. If I increase it just so you can see the effect happening more in the eyes, that adds to the effect. Or if I had too much of an effect, I can drag it down. In this case, I just want it to be obvious what I did, so I'm going to crank it up a bit. Alright. And if I want to, I can click that arrow again, and I can come right back to where I was. And then if I click the brush, I put the brush away, and I can zoom out and take a look at the effect on the eyes. And if I compare the before and after, you can see how it really brought out the eyes. Let me zoom over to one. Alright. It added a little bit of brightness, a little bit of saturation, and a little bit of sharpness. So I hope that tip helps. Get in there and try out all those brushes. They can be really helpful.